Pandora Papers have exposed the offshore accounts of one of the biggest art thieves in the world.
Prominent UK businessman Douglas Latchford smuggled thousands of artifacts out of Cambodia, Thailand, and India, which are now housed in museums and in private collections in the West.
This is something done by people who are supposedly respectable, whose names are visible on public labels in museums.
We didn't understand the amount of activity that he was up to in terms of buying and selling stolen antiquities.
But some museums are refusing to admit that they have looted artifacts on display.
We have so much evidence, not just documents, but we still have living people around who can say, hey, we saw this statue stolen.
But they won't be around forever. We have to collect that evidence now.
We can't wait another 10 years. These cultural properties need to come home.
A couple of decades ago, there were a lot of thefts from this location.
There were attempts of armed robbery, so it became habit to keep it secret.
It's a national treasure, so it's important to keep everything safe.
Many of the pieces are pieces that were looted from temples and then brought here. These are recovered pieces. Maybe trucks were stopped at customs or at the border. It has more than 10,000 pieces. So this gives you a sense of some of the things that were on their way out of Cambodia.
My name is Bradley Gordon. I'm an American lawyer living in Phnom Penh. I have 15 years experience running my own international practice here. I worked with refugees.
And then I was hired by the Cambodian Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts in 2018 to get back stolen antiquities.
I think it's correcting a historical wrong. Looting goes way back. We have the French coming to Cambodia who went to temples and took out statues. Those statues are now at the Guimet in Paris. And the scale of the removal really picked up over the decades.
American GIs in Vietnam.
1960s, we start to hear that heads were going out. Heads were easier to take out than the whole sculpture. So 72 to 79, we don't hear of too many statues disappearing. There was a tragic chapter of Cambodian history where so many people lost their lives under the Khmer Rouge. But starting in the 80s, we see it pick up again. And by the 90s, it had become massive, the looting that was going on. They were using metal detectors, and it was incredible destruction. Just taking everything they knew they could get a good price for. So we're tracking more than 2,000 statues at 105 museums around the world, maybe about 1,000 in private collections.
The team is working on gathering evidence. Sometimes we are coming to a location like this to see if anything that's been described to us matches what's here.
Here you can see the eyebrows. Yeah, eyebrow and the nose.
That will help us in terms of building a case. When we are looking outside of Cambodia and we see something in a private collection or a museum, we can say it's definitely Cambodian.
This one.
Yes.
This one.
So if we look at it and then look at the head, look, it's almost like perfect in terms of being identical. So Sophie's an exceptional archaeologist. I can show her a photo and she'll say, oh, I've seen something like that in such and such province. That's an incredible knowledge to have. She feels very strongly about what we're doing.
It's broken, the head, the foot, the legs. And where are the body of these feet? That is so painful to see something like this. It's sad, really sad.
Looters, a lot of times they hacked the statue off and they left the feet behind.
We just feel like something missing. The soul are not there, so. ខ្ញុំគិតថារូប ទាំងអស់រូបបុរាណរូបទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងគឺមានព្រលឹងប្រហែលជាគំនិតរបស់ខ្ញុំមិនខុសប្លែកអីគ្នាពីគំនិតរបស់ប្រជាជនខ្មែរសាមញ្ញទេដែលយើងជឿថារបស់ច្រើនដែលនៅជុំវិញខ្លួននឹងយើងមានព្រលឹង Now the soul is gone because it break.
We know that one person in particular was very involved with removing antiquities from Cambodia. Douglas Latchford. He's one of the greatest art thieves in history, and many of the statues that went through his hands went to museums and private collectors. So they're in people's living rooms, in the child's bedroom, up on the wall. Now our mission is to get them out of those living rooms and bedrooms and get them back here.
You can find Thai and Cambodian antiquities easily just looking at real estate porn. So glossy photos of the interior of people's homes. And they'll have a photo of a living room and I'll see in the corner there'll be a Khmer antiquity. I'm Angela Chu. I have a PhD in Thai Buddhist art and literature. And I'm an independent researcher working now to help find looted objects that left Thailand and Cambodia. All the work that I do is volunteer work. I was actually an investment banker for many years, so this frees me to spend the time on things that I'm interested in doing. Cultural restitution is a historic phenomenon, so since the 19th century. Many objects in places that were colonized moved to places like Britain, France, and the United States. Imagine the statue of David by Michelangelo in Florence. Imagine somehow, the Thai army came and took that statue and chopped it up and they dragged it back to Thailand. And now Italians who wanted to see their art had to travel to Thailand. This is the kind of situation we're facing. Since the time that the colonies became independent, these countries have said these things left our country in illegal or unethical fashion. And now it's time for them to return to be once again part of the culture and history of our country. So you can find a lot of objects in online museum catalogs or catalogs of auction houses and dealers. So during the pandemic, I came across a bronze statue in New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. Here's the statue in the Met's online catalog, and they have a photo of it. This is Golden Boy. It's a very informal nickname for a statue of a standing male figure with youthful appearance. It is absolutely convincing in that it's sculpted to have a mass and a presence. And that presence is enhanced by the golden color of this gilded bronze. It's a famous statue that I would say is probably the best or one of the top Southeast Asian items that is in the collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. The bronze statue is about 900 or 1,000 years old. And then they say Cambodia, Angkor Siem Reap province. The chance is extremely high for Cambodia and Thailand that piece was illegally removed from the country. You basically would have to assume that that object was stolen. It's just a statistical thing. So I tried to trace back, what do we know about that object? What specific spot that it came from or who owned it in the past? The Met helpfully provides a little bit of provenance information. So this is information about who owned the statue before it came to the Met. In 1988, a dealer in London, Spink & Son, sold this statue to Walter Annenberg, who was a media mogul. And Walter Annenberg, in the same year, donated it to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So this provenance information is a little bit worrying because we do know that Spink & Son collaborated with Douglas Latchford in sending antiquities illegally into the United States. Douglas Latchford was a British man who was indicted for looting and smuggling by the United States in 2019. He lived in Bangkok and was able to purchase items directly from looters in Cambodia and Thailand, and then basically present a respectable professional face to the museums, who really did not ask enough questions about how Latchford managed to get these objects. He had, in fact, so many objects flowing through him to London and New York that people started to say, you know, are these all authentic? So Latchford engaged an art historian called Emma Bunker to help him to write 3 coffee table volumes about Khmer art. Khmer art covers art in Cambodia and Thailand. You have excellent photographs that are reproduced in color. There are catalog entries with footnotes. He made efforts to use these books to declare that these things are authentic. I noticed that in a 2008 book by Bunker and Latchford, they do mention briefly this statue, which is at the Met. And in a footnote at the back, they say this statue is actually from Northeast Thailand. The thing about it is that the Metropolitan Museum of Art says that this statue comes from Cambodia, from Siem Reap province. Then, in 2011, Emma Bunker and Douglas Latchford published this book, Khmer Gold, and they do mention that 11th century statue at the Met, which they had published earlier. It says here, quote, "The figure was actually found at the village of Banyang, Lahan district, where its stone base is still visible and not in Cambodia." What this footnote is telling us is it's identifying a specific place, a certain village in a certain district. And it says its stone base is still visible. I mean, that's quite extraordinary. So it would be miraculous, really, if you could go there and actually find the base and try to see if maybe it really did come from Thailand. Thanongsak Hanwong is the leader in Thailand's cultural heritage repatriation movement on the ground.
เป็นนักโบราณคดี แล้วก็เป็นคณะกรรมการติดตามคืนโบราณวัตถุของไทยในต่างประเทศ
Thanks to Thanongsak, a lot more information has come out about how the looting was conducted in Thailand. Because Thanongsak went to some of these villages and actually spoke to the villagers who were involved in the looting and explained exactly how these things happened.
ครั้งแรกปีไหน
อาจารย์นิตาเป็นภรรยาผมเองนะฮะ
I have to translate things for him. I have to find him some information. I am a historian, but my focus is mainly on Burma. But yeah, as husband and wife, we share information. We share our discoveries. เป็นฐานของ
นี่แหละ ส่วนประติมากรรมฉลองพระองค์ของพระเจ้าชัยมันที่ 6 ที่เราจะติดตามคืนเนี่ยเป็นประติมากรรมสำริดนะขนาดใหญ่เนี่ยจะแสดงอยู่ในพิพิธภัณฑ์เมโทรโพลิแทนนิวยอร์กของสหรัฐอเมริกาซึ่งเราได้รับการประสานงานมาจากคุณแองเจล่า
So we communicate through WhatsApp, Messenger, emails. The footnote said that the plinth, or the base of the statue, is still there.
แองเจล่าระบุตำแหน่งในประเทศไทยว่าบ้านยางละหารผมไม่รู้เลยว่าบ้านยางแล้วก็ละหารเนี่ยมันอยู่ที่ไหนของประเทศไทยนะ
The problem is in the Bunker and Latchford book, it's not mentioned which province it's in. So it's kind of like leaving out the state in the US. There could be different villages of the same name.
Our plan is to head out today to find the base of the Golden Boy bronze statue currently at the Met in New York to see if we can prove it came from Thailand. According to Latchford's book, it's in a place called Banyang, but we're not exactly sure where the right Banyang is. Banyang is a very common name in Thai. Ban simply means village. Yang means rubber trees or, a type of rubber tree. So when we first heard of this place, We Googled it and we found Banyang in Lahan, somewhere in Chayapum. But then when we rechecked, we realized maybe this Banyang is not in Chayapum province. Chayapum virtually has no Cambodian civilization intact.
ถ้าพูดถึงอาณาจักรเขมรเนี่ยคนไทยหรือทั่วโลกก็ได้นะมักจะถูกสอนว่าอาณาจักรกัมพูชาหรือเขมรโบราณเนี่ยมันอยู่ทางกัมพูชาเพราะว่าเขาไม่เข้าใจวัฒนธรรมว่าทั้งสองดินแดนมันคืออันเดียวกัน
This is the problem with a lot of Khmer art is that the Angkorian Empire is spread across both Cambodia and large parts of Thailand. So Khmer art that we see in museums, it's not always clear whether it actually came from what is the modern state of Cambodia and the modern state of Thailand.
อันนี้คือละหันทรายยัง
บ้านยาง
So we checked again, and in Buriram province, there is a district which is called Lahan Sai. It's not just Lahan, but it's Lahan Sai. But I presume that villagers and natives of Buriram, they call this district Lahan anyway. It can be shortened. From this map, you can see a Buddhist temple named Wat Banyang, which is the temple of Banyang village. It's not so far away from the most iconic Khmer-style temples, and it's not too far from the Cambodian border. That's why we thought it's more likely for this base of this statue to be somewhere in this province. It's just our gut feeling that says it should be in Buriram province rather than Chayapum province. So we'll see. We don't know yet what's going to happen. We don't know if it still exists, but this would be an exciting discovery if we find anything. It's about 145 kilometers. It takes about 3 hours.
ก็เนี่ยพรุ่งนี้จะเป็นครั้งแรกที่ไปด้วยช่วงที่ผ่านมาหลายปีเนี่ยไปไหนไปคนเดียวหลังๆมาเนี้ยมันพอมันเยอะเกินแล้วเหมือนกับภาครัฐเองเขาก็ไม่ได้สนใจอะไรมากมายเงี้ยนี่หรอ
ถ้าหากว่าทีมพวกผมไม่ได้ทำต่อผมคิดว่ามันคงจะไม่มีใครที่จะเข้ามาสืบต่อได้หรอก
เราได้ยินมาว่าอย่างกรณีของกัมพูชาเงี้ยเวลาเขาทำเป็นทีมที่รัฐบาลเขาสนับสนุนอย่างเต็มที่เขาลงทุนไปกับตรงนี้เลยเงี้ย
ผมคิดว่าความแตกต่างในการทวงคืนโบราณวัตถุของแต่ละประเทศคือตัวแทนของประเทศกัมพูชาเขามีภารกิจที่ค่อนข้างชัดเจนของไทยเรามีการแต่งตั้งกรรมการหลายคณะทำให้กระบวนการยากกว่าเพราะระบบราชการ
Gokhe is a time capsule. It was a royal capital only for a couple decades before the royal capital moved back to Angkor.
ប្រាសាទកាចាប់និងតំបន់កោះកេរទាំងមូលគឺជាចំណុចសំខាន់នៅក្នុងការស្រាវជ្រាវទាមទារវត្ថុបុរាណរបស់យើងដោយសារនៅកោះកេរយើងដឹងថាមានវត្ថុបុរាណស្អាតវត្ថុបុរាណធំហើយដែលអ្នកប្រមូលទិញចូលចិត្តទិញ
So many of the most important statues that we are tracking down come from this temple complex and the area around it.
One of the missing statue that we believe is from this area is called Skandar on Peacock. Skandar is a god of war. It is considered a masterpiece. រូបស្កំជិះក្ងោកហ្នឹងគឺជារូបប្រុសមួយដែលជិះក្ងោកហើយរូបហ្នឹងក៏អត់សូវមានច្រើនដែរនៅក្នុងស្រុកខ្មែរបើប្រៀបធៀបទៅនឹងទេពផ្សេងរូបហ្នឹងអត់សូវមានច្រើនទេក៏ប៉ុន្តែរូបហ្នឹងសំខាន់ We believe that Douglas Latchford may have ordered the Skandar on Peacock be taken from Krachap Temple, partly because he published a picture of it in his book. We are looking for more evidence at the temple to prove it taken from here.
Sadly, it suffered some of the worst looting, especially because Latchford was so obsessed with Gokhe.
We're working with a team of archaeologists and researchers who are excavating the temple. to find any fragments that looters may have left behind.
This one is still in situ.
That's another pedestal. What do you think was on the pedestal?
I think it's maybe for a guardian.
So we know the looters dug up this area, and part of that area, it's like industrial looting. At least 40 or 50 people were here digging.
They were either soldiers or local villagers. This was in the 1990s.
It was a very dangerous time. They came armed. There were other Khmer Rouge groups in this area, all looking for treasures, all driven by the demand from outside. Douglas Latchford and his friends, all to fill up Western museums and private collections. We now have access to a tremendous amount of information from the Latchford family. Through years of secret negotiations, we were able to get an agreement with Julia Latchford, the daughter of Douglas Latchford, to give us all the records relating to Cambodia. And that has been a treasure trove of information. We are looking through emails. We have his invoices. We have his receipts. We have his false provenance. We know now the path many of the statues that went through his hands took. They would go out of the temple like Prasat Krachap, and they would be taken across the border. From Bangkok, Latchford would typically ship it to London. So London was a center point of activity. And then from London, they went to other countries.
My name is John Paul Labat. I'm a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations in New York. Homeland Security Investigations covers a full gamut of investigations from narcotics to child pornography cases to money laundering. We also investigate the theft of cultural property, trying to prosecute those involved and return the artifacts back home. So we learned from Brad Gordon that the Cambodians were extremely interested in a particular statue, and it was Skanda on a peacock. Homeland Security have identified 12 museums in the U.S. that have artifacts that were sourced by Douglas Latchford. We also have 4 private collectors that we know of who have a pretty extensive collection of artifacts from Latchford as well. We have a list that we're going through systematically to recover all those pieces, and to Skanda on a peacock as well.
And now we collect the fragment in Prasat Krachap. It may be more than 10,000 pieces.
At least the looters were not careful in their looting. They hacked pieces off and they left feet behind. They broke off arms, heads broke off. They left behind a huge amount of evidence for us to collect.
We have now found some fragments of Skanda on peacock that prove the statue was in this temple. And we have information that Skanda on peacock may be with a private collector in the US.
ក្នុងករណីរូបព្រះស្កន្ទជាក្ងោកបើសិនបើយើងអាចទទួលរូបនឹងត្រឡប់មកកម្ពុជាវិញខ្ញុំគិតថាវាគឺជាជោគជ័យខ្លាំងរបស់ក្រុមការងារយើង
Other than Skanda on a peacock, we now believe there were at least 12 other major statues taken from Krachap Temple.
Nobody's been able to figure out the exact significance of this temple. But if all these could be reassembled, it would be astonishing. I think it would give us a much better idea of what, who was this family, who ruled this royal capital.
We found a lot of information that could help us to get back more statues.
So now we're going to talk to Luther. When we meet him, we will try to just go through again with him in detail what statues he took out of here.
But this is not a situation that we can predict what's going to happen. We're dealing with people who have some very dark histories and have done some terrible things in the past.
We finally arrived in Buriram province, where we're hoping the base of the Golden Boy statue is located.
We we are calling you just to give you a bit of an update. So we drove 180 kilometers to Buriram.
Oh, wow, I'm excited too. I wish I could be there.
ผมยังไม่เคยเจอตัวจริงกับคุณแองเจล่าเลย สวัสดีครับ ผมติดต่อกับคุณแองเจล่าเนี่ยโดยผ่านทางข้อความใน Facebook เมื่อสัก 3-4 ปีที่แล้ว เราคุยกันในเรื่องของการติดตามคืนโบราณวัตถุ
What do you think? How does this plinth look like?
This is very hard to say. I mean, it could be just a block of stone. The plinths that are in museums seem quite plain. I think it'd be quite difficult when you think about it to find just one object that is low to the ground. But if anyone can find it, I think it's Ajahn Thanongsak.
คิดว่าจะเจอ 100%
We'll keep you updated with whatever comes our way.
I can't wait. Okay, good luck tomorrow. Keep safe. Bye.
Bye.
No.
This morning, we're picking up Thanongsak's friend, Son, a village headman who is helping us to find a man called Satien, another former village headman of Banyang. We're hoping Satien may know something about the Golden Boy statue.
หลังนี้ป่ะสีฟ้านี่ป่ะ
น่าจะเป็นสีฟ้า
ผู้ทำการผู้ใหญ่บ้าน
ถ้ามาถ่ายปุ๊บปั๊บเขาจะไม่พูด
ใช่ครับ iPad อยู่ว่า
They're going to meet another former village headman, and it's a bit tricky because he was involved in, I guess, the looting itself. So if we go in now, he might not speak. So we'll just let the two guys, the village headman and Thanongsak, go in to talk to him. It's all about trust, I guess. Thanongsak did this before, and it took some villagers 3 years to talk. We'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen.
ไม่เห็นเรียกแล้วไม่เห็นเขาว่าไปน่าจะไปอนามัยบ้านยางไปตรวจวิธีเคไปเอายาหรือไปตรวจ
ไปเอายาติดโควิด
เขาติดโควิดรักษา
เรามาหาก็เพราะว่านายเสถียรเนี่ยเป็นคนที่มีความสัมพันธ์กับกลุ่มที่เคยหาของเก่าอะไรนะฮะเพราะว่าแกเป็นผู้ใหญ่บ้านเลยรู้จักทุกคนอ้าวตลาดโอ้โหอุตส่าห์มาก็ออกมาดูคุณเสถียรไม่เจอ
While waiting for the village headman Satien, one of Thanongsak's colleagues who works with him to reclaim artifacts has arrived to help us.
รัฐท่านเคยอยู่ตำบลนี้เลย ตำบลตะจง
ตะจง
เดี๋ยวผมถามหน่อย
ครับ
Deputy Damrong has a lot of connections around here. เอาแล้วตอนนี้แกอยู่ไหน
กำลังกลับเข้ามา
พอดีแกทั้งผัวทั้งเมียติดโควิดทั้งสองขีดผมก็เลยให้สวมแมสสัก2 ชั้น
คุยได้เราปล่อยกันระยะห่างแล้วก็ป้องกันตัว
So today we're going to meet Blue Tiger. He was involved in looting for about 4 years in the 1990s, and he helped to loot Prasat Krachap. So for each of the informants that we're working with, they all have code names to protect them and keep them safe. And we asked them, do they have a favorite animal? In this case, he picked tiger. The reason we're using code names is because looting is still going on. We don't want other looters to retaliate against them. So it's always a very sensitive situation when we meet with a looter. We're going to ask him some more questions about specific statues at Prasat Krachap, which will help us in our discussions
It's taken him a while to get here, so maybe he's not coming. So let's see.
6 coming.
Sok samai.
Blue tiger, he's an incredible resource for us because his memory is so clear, and he was involved at the height of the looting.
Prasat Krachap.
ពូធ្លាប់បានឃើញរបៀបអញ្ចឹងឯងពូ
So can he show where he found the skanda, the
នេះតួ
peacock?
ភាសាកាចាប់ពូនេះតួដែលនៅក្នុងអាគារដែលចូលទៅយកពូនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងចង់ដឹងទីតាំងដែលពូយកបានហ្នឹងពូចាំថារូបទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងគេយកចេញពីទាំងងោកនៅកន្លែងណាងោកនុយមុខនេះមុខខាងក្រៅឬក៏ខាងក្នុងអាចនេះនៅខ្នេះមួយខ្នេះមួយ
Blue tiger testimony is further proof that skanda on a peacock was taken from here.
ថាឃើញគេអានេះចង់ស្រក់ទឹកភ្នែកឃើញដូចមនុស្សវិញខ្ញុំសតឲ្យមួយលើកដាក់រទេសនៅភ្នែកកាត់ពីកណាត់ដាក់រទេស
កាលមកប្រាសាទកចាប់ហ្នឹងកម្លាំងប្រហែលម៉ានអ្នកពូ
កម្លាំងរាប់រយ
កាលនោះលោកពូធ្វើការងារអីដែរកាលនោះ
ទាន
Many of the former looters we work with are former Khmer child soldiers. They were directly involved with massacres in 75, 76. So when the Khmer Rouge were forced out of Phnom Penh in 79, some of these Khmer Rouge child soldiers turned to looting.
ការងារអាត្រូវជីកងាស់តែគ្នានេះទម្លាក់កំភ្លើងចូលក៏ជីកហើយ
តែពេលនឹងពូខ្លាចឯពេលពូគុំធ្វើ
អត់មានខ្លាចអីទាំងនោះ
អត់ខ្លាចទេ
បាទព្រមនេះខាងធំគេបញ្ជាធានកងពលថាអាណាចេះរស់ស៊ីអីបានរស់ទៅខំរស់ទៅទាំងស្រុកមានសង្គ្រាម
គឺជាសម័យដែលយើងពិបាកយើងអត់មានអាហារយើងអត់ឃ្លានយើងត្រូវការលុយយើងត្រូវការរស់ដូច្នេះហើយនៅក្នុងពេលហ្នឹងហើយដែលមនុស្សគិតថាបើសិនតែលួចវត្ថុបុរាណយកចេញទៅលក់ទៅគឺបានលុយខ្លះសម្រាប់ចិញ្ចឹមជីវិតអញ្ចឹងចាអញ្ចឹងហើយដែលជាហេតុផលធ្វើឲ្យនៅក្នុងសម័យសង្គ្រាមហ្នឹងគឺការបាត់បង់វត្ថុបុរាណមានច្រើន
For the individuals helping us, they believe overall it's a good thing to do for the country. They want to do something to redeem for their deeds in the past, trying to get good karma. And for me, it's extraordinary to be able to take words, just take a description from a former looter. And within a month or 2 months, be able to say, oh, this is the statue that was in that temple that is now sitting in New York. We're finding more and more evidence, and I think it's just a matter of time before Skanda and the Peacock come back to Cambodia.
We're finally meeting Banyang's village headman Satien. We're hoping to find out if he knows anything about the bronze statue that we think was taken from the village 50 years ago. He has COVID, so everyone is keeping their distance.
องค์นี้เคยเห็นที่ไหนมาก่อนไหมครับ เคยผ่านตาบ้างไหมครับ
ไม่เคยนะครับ แต่ว่าถ้าได้ว่าที่บ้านยางนี่ก็ข่าวไม่ชิ้นนี้แหละครับที่คือฮาที่ดังที่เขาขุดรื้อปราสาทได้ ที่บ้านยางครับที่ว่าเขาได้1 ล้านเนี่ยที่เขาขายกันสมัยนั้น
แล้วขายล้านหนึ่ง
ครับขายล้านหนึ่งสมัยนั้นดีกว่าถูกลอตเตอรี่ เพราะมัน50 ปีที่แล้ว
ใช่มันนานมาก
ครับสมัยนั้นผมเป็นเด็กแรดฟอร์ดนี่มาอยู่บ้านผมเลยแหละ
ใช่
อยู่
ค
กั
รั
บบ พ่อผมเลยแหละ
โอ้รู้จักแรดฟอร์ดด้วยใช่ไหมครับ น ในข้อมูลเขาบอกว่าตอนที่เขาซื้อขายกันน่ะเขาเอาไปแต่ตัวองค์พระแต่ว่าฐานหินที่เป็นฐานหินทุกองค์เนี้ยที่เป็นหินทรายก็ยังอยู่ที่เก่ายกสารน่ะไม่รู้ว่าเหลืออยู่หรือเปล่าทุกวันนี้เห็นก้อนหินแต่ว่าไอ้ฐานไม่รู้จะเห็นไม่เห็นคงจะต้องไปดูกันเองโชคดีที่เรามาเจอคุณเสถียรก็เพราะว่าเราได้รู้จักว่าประติมากรรมชิ้นนี้ถูกซื้อขายจากหมู่บ้านจริงในราคา1 ล้านบาทโดยแรดฟอร์ดเป็นคนซื้อขายไป
We're now heading to the old temple grounds where the shrine used to be to find out if it's the same statue we're looking for and if its plinth still exists.
เรากำลังเดินทางไปที่ตั้งเดิมของตัวปราสาทในหมู่บ้านยางเพื่อพูดคุยกับชาวบ้านที่อาจจะรู้ว่าประติมากรรมสำริดชิ้นนี้เดิมทีเคยตั้งอยู่ที่ไหนถ้าเราสามารถพิสูจน์ได้ว่าประติมากรรมสำริดชิ้นนี้มาจากที่นี่เราจะสามารถทำการทวงคืนจากพิพิธภัณฑ์ศิลปะเมโทรโพลิแทนในนิวยอร์กเพื่อนำกลับมาได้ถึงกลางปราสาทแล้วเดี๋ยวเราเข้าไปพร้อมกันเราแค่เดินเข้าไปสวัสดีครับเคยเห็นไหมรูปนี้
เห็นครับ
100%
และไอ้คนที่ขายเพิ่งตายไปเนี่ยตายไปประมาณ3 ปีเนี่ยคนที่ขายคนขายคนอะไรก็คนขุดได้ก็อยู่ตรงนี้เลยคนเท่านั้นก็ยังอยู่นะคนที่ขายน่ะแต่เป็นอยู่เมียเขาโน่นนั้นตายหมดแล้ว
เดี๋ยวก็ต้องขอไปถามแกได้ไหมเราต้องการคำยืนยันจากภรรยาผู้ตายว่าพวกเขาได้ขุดเจอประติมากรรมสำริดและได้ไขมันออกไป
แม่อายุเท่าไหร่
83
ปี
เป็นภาษาเขมรพื้นเมืองของถิ่นเนี้ยที่ใช้กันครับท่านปลัดและนายกอบตกำลังช่วยกันแปลเราจะมาให้เขายืนยันว่าประติมากรรมสำริดเป็นองค์ที่ครอบครัวเขาได้ค้นพบจริง
รูปนี้ที่เห็นแล้วอันนี้ใช่แบบนี้เลยใช่ไหม
น่าจะแบบนี้เหรอถึงค่ะแบบเตะเตะมาทองจำปี
อันนี้ก็ทองจำปีนั่นแหละ
เป็นแบบกำเยียนรอยแบบนี้
มีรอยแบบนี้อันนี้ก็นี่แบบนี้
ก็ยืนยันว่านี่แหละที่เห็นหน้าตาก็แบบนี้มีสร้อยสังวานมีตอนตุจีเคยนี่แม่จำบานด้วยตุจีอย่างนาปีใบเนี้ยมัน
จีเป็นโลง
น้องเนี่ยไปขุดมันพอขุดไปก็เห็นมือก่อน
ตายจ้า
เห็นมืออาจจะ
เด็กเนาะ
เด็กก็จะประนอนสลีปด้วย
พอเอาขึ้นมาเสร็จปุ๊บก็เอามาพักไว้ที่บ้านหลังนี้อยู่2 วันแล้วก็ทำความสะอาดเสร็จก็มีคนรับไปต่อไปที่บ้านฝ้ายเพื่อที่จะไปจำหน่ายอีกทีหนึ่งเห็นบอกว่ามันมีฐานอยู่นี่
มันมีฐานบัลลังก์แบบนี้แหละนี่ปราสาทมันจะตั้งอยู่ตรงจุดนี้แหละ
ยมดูปุกุล
ปราสาทแต่เดิมเนี่ยมันคือพื้นที่ที่เรายืนอยู่ทั้งหมดณปัจจุบันเนี่ยถูกถมพื้นที่เพื่อทำเป็นศาลากลางบ้านของประติมากรรมมันเลย
นี่แหละ
ก็ยกอันนี้เลยนี่อันนี้มันใช่ตรงนี้เลยตรงนี้ทำมาที่นี่เลยครับ
แต่ฐานตัวโค้งๆเนี่ยมันจะนิยมทำอยู่ช่วงหนึ่งคือพุทธศตวรรษที่16ซึ่งก็ตรงกับตัวประติมากรรมสำริดว่ามันอยู่ในสมัยเดียวกันเพื่อให้ทราบตัวฐานประติมากรรมครับว่ามันกว้างยาวเท่าไหร่
จะไปตรงกัน
ประติมากรรมของพระเจ้าชัยวันที่6เนี่ยมีความสูงอยู่ประมาณ120 กว่าเซนติเมตรส่วนฐานก็ประมาณ30 กว่าเปอร์เซ็นต์เราก็เอาตัวเลขนั้นเอาไปเทียบปกติก็ถ้าหากมันเข้ากันดีก็แสดงว่าใช่ของเขาอย่างที่ในเอกสารระบุฐานตัวนี้ให้หน่อยฐานตรงๆดิจะได้เห็นความยาวนี้เท่าไหร่ถ่ายมันมีสเกลอยู่แล้วจะไปดู
โอเค
ใช่เกินความคาดหมายมากซึ่งแต่อันเนี้ยเรารู้ว่าเป็นฐานพระพุทธรูป แหมน่าบอกแองเจล่านะว่าเราเจอแล้วอะ
Angela?
Arita.
We just came from the site where the statue was looted. And yeah, we have found the plinth at the site. Yes.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I was jumping around in my living room. This kind of thing never happens, you know? I mean, that statue was taken 50 years ago. Anything could happen, right? I mean, it's a generation ago. People forget or they pass away. It just seems, you know, like a 1 in a million kind of thing.
I am so excited. That's
Yeah.
really amazing to me. That answer. Wow.
อุ๊ยดีใจสุดๆเลย ขอบคุณที่ให้ข้อมูลที่ดีแล้วก็พามาเจอประติมากรรม
Yeah.
ถือว่าภายใน1 วันเนี่ยประสบความสำเร็จมาก เพราะปกติเนี่ยถ้าเรามากันเองโดยไม่มีคนท้องถิ่นนำผมว่าอาจจะใช้เวลาไม่ต่ำกว่าเป็นปีนะเขาถึงจะให้ข้อมูลเรา
โอกาสที่เราจะได้เทวรูปองค์นี้คืนจากพิพิธภัณฑ์เมทที่นิวยอร์กมันมีโอกาสสูงขึ้นไหมอ่ะ
ใช่แทบจะ 100% นะเพราะว่าข้อมูลที่ได้เนี่ยมันค่อนข้างชัดมากอะว่ามันเจออยู่ที่ปราสาทหลังเนี้ยมันคือทุกอย่างเป็นหลักฐานในการต่อสู้มันไม่ใช่สารคดีแล้วแหละ แต่จากหลักฐานที่มีอยู่ทั้งหมดเนี่ยมันสามารถยืนยันตัวตนมันสามารถยืนยันที่มาของโบราณวัตถุได้เพราะว่าจริงๆแล้วโบราณวัตถุที่เม็ดเขาได้ไปมันยังไงมันก็ไม่มีทางที่จะถูกต้องตามกฎหมายเป็นของที่เป็นถิ่นกำเนิดในประเทศไทย
How are you? Good to see you, yes. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming. Long trip.
10 years after first hearing about Skanda on a peacock, I'm finally getting to see the statue with my own eyes.
We determined it was sold to a private collector in New York. We approached the collector, showed some evidence that the piece had been imported improperly. After presenting the evidence, the collector decided to walk away from the statue.
We came all the way from Cambodia for the repatriation ceremony. Feeling very emotional. The Skanda on the peacock. To see it here in New York, in these offices, is just startling. And to see how beautiful it is a magnificent piece.
I feel so happy because it is very important for us as a Cambodian to have our culture, to have our soul of the ancestors. Because in everyday life, we still practice, we still worship the statue.
This is the return of the son of one of the greatest kings in Cambodian history. And we know so little about his reign that the statue itself starts to tell us a story about what happened 1,000 years ago in Cambodia. We find that so much was lost. There's a yearning among the young generation to understand better and realizing that Cambodian art and creativity and achievements, something they should be proud of. I would like to see every Cambodian national treasure to come home and for the Cambodians to have control over the destiny of those properties and to decide whether they want them to be on tour, whether they want them to be in museums, whether they want them to be back at the temples.
Museums should realize that actually returning something doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. There are ways they can collaborate and form new endeavors, curating, conservation, display. I see them in Hello Magazine, OK Magazine. When I see my hairdresser, that's what he gives me to read. I automatically start to scrutinize the photos to see if I can notice any Southeast Asian antiquities.